If you believe stories can touch hearts and change lives, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because today's story will open your eyes to something powerful. It's a story that proves sometimes silence speaks louder than 1,000 words. It was a boiling summer afternoon. Cars honked, people argued, and the city felt like it was on fire. Ethan, a 29-year-old sales manager, stood outside his office, angry and red-faced. He had just shouted at his junior Maya for a small mistake in front of everyone. Ethan believed that strong words show power. He thought talking louder made him right. At work, everyone respected Ethan. Or maybe they just feared him. He always had the last word. His boss even joked, "Ethan never loses an argument." But deep inside, Ethan wasn't confident. He was scared of being wrong. He used words as a shield to hide his insecurity. One Monday morning, a new senior consultant joined the office, Mr. Bennett. He was a calm, gray-haired man with gentle eyes and years of experience. During a meeting, Bennett softly said, "Maybe there's another way to approach this plan." Ethan laughed. "Sir, your ways might have worked before social media existed." The room went silent. Everyone looked down. But Mr. Bennett didn't react. He just smiled, nodded, and wrote something in his notebook. That silence felt strange, heavy, almost uncomfortable. Ethan waited for a response, but it never came. And for the first time, his loud voice felt small. That evening, Ethan told his girlfriend Emma what happened. "She just stared at me with those calm eyes. It was annoying," he said. Emma replied softly, "Maybe his silence said more than your words." Ethan rolled his eyes. "Oh, please, silence can't win an argument." But deep down, something about her words stayed with him. A week later came the biggest presentation of Ethan's career. Important clients filled the boardroom. He started strong, full of confidence, until the projector froze mid-slide. His face turned pale. The room grew awkwardly silent. He tried to talk his way out, but his voice cracked. Before Ethan could speak another word, Mr. Bennett quietly stood up. Without saying anything, he fixed the laptop, clicked a few buttons, and restarted the slideshow. He nodded for Ethan to continue. No judgment, no words, just calm silence. Ethan looked at him in shock. That quiet gesture said everything. The presentation ended perfectly. The clients clapped. The boss smiled. But Ethan didn't feel proud. He felt humbled. Mr. Bennett had saved him, yet never asked for thanks. That silence echoed louder than the applause. The next day, Ethan went to Mr. Bennett's desk. "Sir, I owe you an apology," he began. Bennett raised his hand gently. "No need for words, Ethan. Just learn when to speak and when to listen." Those few words hit Ethan harder than any argument ever had. 2 weeks later, Mr. Bennett announced he was leaving due to health problems. Everyone was shocked. The office buzzed with whispers. But Ethan stayed silent. For the first time, he had no clever words. He just watched quietly as his mentor packed his things. A month later, Ethan visited Mr. Bennett in the hospital. The old man looked weak but peaceful. Ethan said softly, "You taught me something no business book ever could." Mr. Bennett smiled faintly. "Then maybe I did something right." Before leaving, Ethan asked, "Why didn't you argue with me that day?" Bennett replied, "Because silence teaches faster than pride listens." Those words carved themselves into Ethan's heart. A week later, Mr. Bennett passed away. Ethan attended his funeral in silence. No words, no speeches, just the wind brushing through the trees. He finally understood the meaning of respect and peace. Months went by. Ethan wasn't the same anymore. He spoke gently, listened more, and stayed calm under pressure. People noticed his new patience. When he did speak, everyone listened, because his words carried meaning now. One afternoon, a young intern accidentally deleted a client file. Everyone froze, waiting for Ethan to explode. But instead, he took a deep breath and said softly, "It's okay. Mistakes teach us." The room stayed silent, a silence filled with respect. That night, Ethan sat by his desk, writing in his journal. He wrote, "The loudest person in the room isn't always the strongest. The one who listens understands more." He finally understood the true power of silence. Years later, Ethan became a mentor himself. Whenever a young employee argued too much, he'd smile and say, "Sometimes silence is your strongest answer." The same words once said to him by Mr. Bennett. Words can hurt, heal, inspire, or destroy, but silence? Silence can save. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you understand when words can't help anymore. If this story touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe so more people can feel, think, and grow with us.